The NBA preseason is here, which means Lakers basketball is back. So if you're pumped to see the purple and gold take the floor once again, smash that thumbs up icon and like the video. What it do, Laker Nation? You're watching the Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I am your host, Jay Senior. Coming up on today's show, we're going to do a Lakers 2021-2022 roster breakdown and take a look at every player who's partaking in Lakers preseason games as well as Lakers training camp. Let's first set the foundation here. Right now, Los Angeles has a 19-man roster. A lot of teams across the NBA have 20 training camp bodies. I'm not sure if that means the Lakers and Rob Pelinka, general manager LeBron James, are going to make another move to bring a veteran piece in. That's always a possibility, but they are one man shy as compared to a lot of teams across the league. The Lakers do have 13 guaranteed contracts after the flurry of moves that they made in NBA free agency, and once the season comes, the Lakers do have to trim down that roster to 15 players come opening night, and of course there's flexibility as to which players can partake in G League games as well as on that Lakers roster. Let's first take a look at the Lakers guaranteed starters. Now, Frank Vogel has been very, very vague and has kept this starting lineup under wraps. We're really not sure who the starting five is going to be. This is what we do know, and this is what we do know is for sure. Russell Westbrook is going to be the starting point guard. LeBron James is, of course, going to be in that starting lineup. I think he's either the top or maybe the second best player in the NBA, even though he's 36 years old going on 37, and then Anthony Davis is going to be in that starting five as well. Maybe LeBron plays the 4, Anthony Davis plays the 5. That then opens up an opportunity for the 2 and 3 spots in Frank Vogel's starting 5. In the mix to start, there's a bevy of players. I think you can even put Kent Bazemore on this list as well. Right now, let's go with the combination of maybe Trevor Ariza, Wayne Ellington, Carmelo Anthony, Talen Horton-Tucker, Malik Monk. What Frank Vogel does have at his disposal, a bunch of different lineup combinations that he can go with depending on the matchup any given night. And keep in mind, we're going back to an 82-game regular season schedule, so this is going to be a very long season. There are a lot of veteran players on this team who any given night maybe are going to take a night off, which then opens up an opportunity for guys to get spot starts. So that's kind of the look at some of the Lakers options as far as that starting five. Maybe if you want a shooter, you go with Wayne Ellington. Carmelo Anthony knocked down 40% of his three-point attempts last year. Talen Horton-Tucker gives you a playmaking element who has positional versatility as well. Malik Monk can really make it rain from deep. And then Trevor Ariza is just a savvy veteran. Laker fans know all about him. Laker Nation continues to grow here at Chat Sports. I really want to get to 40,000 subscribers right here on the channel prior to opening night in mid-October, which is really only a couple weeks away. So if you want the best, most informative and entertaining Lakers coverage right here on YouTube, it's simple. Smash that subscribe button down below or go to youtube.com/LakersTV. Now we know after the free agency spending spree that the Lakers went in on a lot of veteran pieces. Some people think this Lakers roster is way too old. I think it's really deep. I think it's talented. They have a lot of premier talent. They're all in for this year, and that's all that they have to think about because they have to capitalize on the prime of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. But some of the other veteran pieces on this roster, Rajon, Rondo, who can start from time to time if Russell Westbrook needs a break. Kendrick Nunn has been a bucket getter throughout his NBA career with the Miami Heat. DeAndre Jordan can be a double-double machine. He can fill in as the starter at the center spot if you want to go big against a team where you really need it. Dwight Howard was a high flyer for the Sixers last year, played very well backing up Joel Embiid, and was a critical piece for the Lakers team that won the championship 2 years ago. Of course, this franchise trying to get back to that championship status. And then Kent Bazemore, as I mentioned. You can bring him in off the bench. He can stretch the floor. He can play make, put the ball on the deck, or he can come in off the bench as well. Are the Lakers old? It doesn't take long to look at that roster, look at all of the ages. There are a lot of guys in their early, mid, and late 30s. So yes, they are old. Are they deep? Yes. Hell yes. This is a Lakers team that is extremely deep. And I kind of gave you a peek into maybe what Frank Vogel is thinking. Man, we might be older, but that's very valuable because we're also a very experienced team, and I can trot out a bunch of different lineups for the starting five, but also our bench lineups can also have a bunch of different options as well. I think Frank Vogel should be very, very excited about what he has on his fingertips. I talk about that Lakers starting five. I want to test you all with this question and this duty. Get into the comment section right now and let me know what you think the Lakers starting lineup should be. Russ, LeBron, and AD are all going to start. How about those two remaining spots? Let me know right now. The Lakers Report today is powered by our friends at BetUS. They have the best deal that any sportsbook has to offer. You go to chatsports.com/Lakers, enter the promo code Lakers125. You get a 125% deposit bonus. So when you put $100 into your account, you get $125 back. That's $225 to game with. Maybe you want to put some money down on LeBron James winning MVP. Maybe Russell Westbrook can average a triple-double again. He's in the MVP race as well. Or maybe you want to put some money down on some NFL football because if you're a degenerate gambler like me, you love putting lettuce down on some NFL games or some NFC West odds. Maybe you're a Rams fan or a fan of one of these teams in the NFC West. In order, Cardinals the favorites, followed by the Rams, Seahawks, and 49ers. Or because you're living in the city of Angels, you have adopted the Chargers now that they're playing in Inglewood at beautiful SoFi Stadium, and you want to have Justin Herbert as your baby. Chargers second place in the AFC West odds to win that division behind the vaunted Chiefs at plus 350. I think there's some decent value there, but maybe you're a Raider fan as well. Shout out to Raider Nation, plus 450. That's some pretty solid value there as well. Let's now transition to some of the players on the Lakers who are fighting for roster spots, because there are some guaranteed contracts and then some open roster spots as well. And then maybe some of these guys that we're about to talk about are going to be on that G League roster and have an opportunity to make this team at some point down the road. A lot of people are familiar with Joel Ayayi. Played college ball at Gonzaga. He kind of got overshadowed by Jalen Suggs as well as Corey Kispert. He's a really good player. And the theme with all of these guys, they're all very young. He's 21 years old. Austin Reeves, that's producer Sam Brown's favorite player in the universe. Very good shooter. Just signed a partially guaranteed contract with Los Angeles. I think he has an opportunity to make this team as well because he's a sharpshooter from deep. I think maybe at some point in the near future, Mac McClung can maybe be the next Alex Caruso as a guy who was a highly touted college basketball player, highly touted recruit coming out of high school, very bouncy, very athletic, was undrafted just like Alex Caruso was, does some of the same things that the bald-headed Eagle did while he was with the Lakers before he got the bag in free agency this past summer with the Chicago Bulls. Other players fighting for a roster spot. We got Cameron Oliver. He's a big man. He's 25 years old. Sean D. Brown is only 22 years old. And then a lot of people are pumped up about Travelin' Queen, not only because he has one of the greatest names of all time of any basketball player to hit the deck, but this is a guy who has really shined in NBA Summer League. He is so bouncy. He is a human highlight reel and can throw down a bunch of dunks. Now, I'm not sure if he can do a lot of things other than that, but because of that human highlight reel aspect, this is a guy that a lot of people are excited about, but he is probably on the outside looking in to make the final 15-man roster going into NBA opening night when the Lakers tip off against the Golden State Warriors. Will the Lakers make moves to fill out this roster? Are they going to bring in some vets and say bye-bye to some of these younger players? Drop some names in the comment section of some players you want Los Angeles to go after, and let me know right now.